Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy, joined by Sean Rigsby. Late as always. No apologies. That's what it is around here. It wouldn't be the same. Don't let him try to blame it on the guest. It ain't never the guest's fault. The guest was poorly led,
Like customers, huh?
Yeah, it's the teacher's fault. So, hope everybody had a great weekend. It's a wonderful Monday night. It was a beautiful day today. That's for sure. It's the only one we're going to get for a couple of weeks. So I hope you took advantage of it. But welcome to the show. Special guest tonight, my man Tyler. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show, my man. Not bad. I ain't seen your ugly face in about a year. You come up here. It might not have been that long ago.
Just a few months ago. I think it
was it? I don't know. A few months, a year.
It's 212, same difference, right?
Yeah, like for me, it's all just 5 minutes ago could have been 10 months ago. That's just how I roll. So, whatever. But that's cool.
What a dick.
I can't remember, man. That's just how it is. So yeah, you come by. I think he picked up like an Element, and he brought me a bunch of liquor, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try all this, and it's all still out in the barn. I definitely tried it. I just don't go through it real quick, and and then he gave me some of the gin, that gin from Alan Bishop. That was the best gin I ever tried, and I hope to be able to buy a bottle of it sometime.
Yep.
But I gave you a jar of that too, didn't I, Sean? I gave you all the stuff he had procured, and I'm like, man, I don't remember. I can't remember what all it was. Like I said, that was a year ago.
Absinthe and a bourbon.
Yeah, I think there was a couple brandies in there. And,
yeah, so. I feel like there was a
with the absinthe, right? I think.
Do what?
I think Easy gives the Philbilly the absinthe.
I might have.
He's like, I don't know. I didn't have it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know if you gave me one for Sean, but yeah, I ended up going to Philbilly, and I don't like.
Yeah, so if anybody is watching this, if you give Big Easy liquor from me, I don't get it.
If you give Sean liquor from me, I don't get it. It's an even trade off. So that's just how it is.
So Tyler, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Just talk about how you got into it.
Wait, hold on, what you drinking on, Sean?
Oh yeah.
Water, H2O tonight, huh?
I'm gonna pull a few off of this again, but mainly water.
I figure you'd bust out a Busch Light Apple.
Hey, Busch Light Apple, I ain't. It's too early for that.
We'll talk about that after the show. That was a low blow, man. I don't apologize, though.
I don't blame you.
So, what you drinking on over there, Tyler?
Homemade root beer. I got at an antique tractor show. I don't drink alcohol at all, and I try not to consume any sugar. So I buy a gallon of that every year, and I try to make it last. So
I'd say so.
So what's the occasion of drinking some?
Do what?
Since it's a special occasion, I thought I'd drink some of it.
So that is, you say root beer. Are you talking like
root beer, like soda?
Like the salt? Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so.
Okay, interesting. So how does that work? I mean, do you?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. So you make your own root beer?
No, I don't. I bought this from some old guy at an antique tractor show I go to every year. So I buy 1 gallon of it every year because I don't consume any processed sugar or drink like sugary pop or anything like that. But I'll drink this like every once in a while on special occasions to treat myself. So you guys are a special occasion, so I'm having some sugar.
You gonna make us blush. You ain't gotta lie to us. We're gonna be cool either way. You ain't gotta lie to us. So
no, I appreciate you for being on, man.
Yes, sir, man. So I busted out some of Uncle Dum Dum's Ultra High Proof tonight.
That 120?
Yeah, from Sugarlands.
Yep. Now, what were you getting ready to say?
I done forgot you interrupted me, and that's it. It could have been a year ago. I don't know. Like that's how quick it is. But anyway, so uh, tell us about yourself, Tyler. Tell us how you got started. You got any history? Self-made. We want to hear it all.
Like 2.5 years ago, I broke my back in 3 places and was laid up for a few months. Fucking watching shit on YouTube and
Hold on. How did you break your back, if you don't mind me asking?
at the skate park riding my bike. So I ride BMX for another hobby. I've kind of chilled out on it a little bit since I broke my back in 3
Yeah, I'd
places.
say so. Kind of the universe kind of shows that for you a little bit. Like, hey, you might want to slow down.
Well, how old are
I
you?
think that
37.
Yeah, I'd say it's about that time.
about that
Starting
time.
to get older, and everything hurts a little worse.
You
was
hit
rough.
that
Yeah,
wall
it
where
was
you're like, oh, yep, I'm taking the stairs. I can't jump off the bed of this truck no more.
It was a freak accident. The ramps were dusty and I slipped off the side and fell like 8 feet.
Damn.
No shit.
Yeah, it was just a freak accident. So, but I was laid up, couldn't work or anything, and browsing the internet and come across moonshine videos. And it was actually the first work that I could do. So I couldn't even lift a full bag of grain. And I was looking to build a still. And I was talking to my brother, and he's like, "I got one." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "The little one or something?" Because we had a little one before, like a crock pot one.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "No, it's 40 gallon." I was like, "Okay." I didn't believe him. He's like, "If you make a mash, you can have it." So I had to went to I think Tractor Supply, got corn and Walmart for sugar, and had to have people help me load the shit because my back was fucked up. I couldn't lift over like a gallon of milk or something like that. So I had to heat water and a little bit of corn at a time and just stir it and dump it in and stir it and dump it in. I got going and brought me the still, and basically I've had something fermenting every day since for 2.5 years.
Nice.
Long story short, yeah, pretty much just got hooked on the process of it. I hear people complain about the stirring and shit, and I love that. But I don't use a hoe. I use a paddle. So
hey, fucking hoe, Sean, you're a hoe. Oh, ass Sean.
Love it.
yeah.
So, do you feel like getting into making moonshine helped you in your healing process with your back to keep your mind occupied and because I imagine you spent a lot of time learning.
Yeah, and like I was starting to feel like a piece of shit because I couldn't do anything. Like
Been there. I had back surgery. It's makes you feel different when you're a piece of shit for a month. Tell me how you do it every day, Sean.
Because I couldn't even get up like on the tractors to feed the cows and shit, and so I was like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do?" And then finally, after doing that over and over, it really got me like back into shape to where I can move around and shit. It was nice. So it kind of saved me because I was fucking going into a bad place, So because I'm was a pretty active person, and not being able to do anything for a while, and kind of saved me a little bit.
Yeah, completely understandable.
Yeah.
It gives you, occupies your mind. Thinking like, and then you got goals. Like, man, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. So, it sounds like it found you at the right time. So that's awesome to hear.
I love it. I don't know. I'm kind of obsessed with it. Shit that interests me, I kind of fucking go all in, no matter what it is.
So, what was the first mash bill you made? I mean, was it something you really didn't know what you were doing, or you?
I mean, I kind of had an idea of how to do it, but never done it before. So it was just cracked corn and sugar, bread yeast. I'm sure you appreciate that, right?
My man, Uncle Jesse style.
And
that's what's up.
Like 2 weeks after my first run was my grandma's 80th birthday party, and all kinds of people come in from out of state and they tried it and couldn't believe I made it. So because it was good, and I was like, oh shit. So then it was on after that. And then I think after my third run using sugar, I started malt and shit, and mess around with conversions, and that shit really gets fun.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like you start out simple sour mash, and then you get your feet wet and you understand a little more, and then you start venturing into converting, and you have your ups and your downs when it comes to converting, and then you're like, man, I'm doing some fruit. Ready to do some fruit. It's just it's the process. We all go through it. It's all how we started. So you said that you and your brother had a still that was like a crock pot, was like a pressure cooker that you converted. And was that your first one? What was it about a gallon or
that was
2 gallon?
It was probably like 7 gallons or something, little thing rigged up. Funny story about it though. This was like 2007 or some shit like that. We had it out in the woods running off fire, and a fucking trespasser found it and called the cops. And so it made the newspaper as a meth lab, of course.
Meth lab.
What the fuck is this shit? And of course, someone that wasn't even supposed to be there, fucking calling the laws. I don't know. I hate shit. I hate nosy fucking people like that.
Like you're trespassing and you called a law on me. Like, get out of here, man.
But nothing ever come of it. I mean, so.
And then so I imagine you said he had the 40 gallon, and all you had to do was mash, and
he tried. He tried using sweet feed, which I guess he had used before, but ended up with the shit with pellets in it. So when I got it, it was a mess because it had all that fucking shit in the bottom of it. All those pellets were in the bottom of the steel.
Oh.
So I started out cleaning the steel before ever running one.
Yeah, he made you earn it, didn't he?
Yeah, and it was electric, and it didn't have any controllers. So I was just plugging and unplugging fucking cords to control the heat.
Just plug it in. All right, it's going too fast. Unplug it. All right, die down. Plug. Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Like,
you start going fast, unplug it, and
like I didn't know. Like, I don't know nothing about control. I know if I plug this into the wall, we're gonna get liquor, and when it starts rolling too fast, hey, man, hey, hats off. You got it done, right? So,
yeah. I still have some of that liquor too. I think I got probably a quart of it left. I was like, I'm gonna keep this shit. First run.
Always cool to look back, man. If you can look back and still have a jar of that first stuff, so you're like, let you know where you came from and whether you've gotten better, stayed the same, or gotten worse. But you never know. Your first one might have been the best.
So I sold my first still to a guy over in Pennsylvania, and come to find out years down the road that he knows Jimmy Jacks very well. And the motherfucker won't sell it back to me.
Damn.
You got to at least talk him into leaving it in his will to you. And look, if you go before me, I get the still back.
Just to be a dick, he'd probably leave it with Jimmy Jacks.
With specific instructions that Sean cannot buy it. Anybody else could buy it but Sean.
Yep. Yeah, well.
Awesome.
But so what's your favorite thing to run? A grain, sugar shine, brandy? Do you like to age your liquor? I mean, what's your?
Yeah, I've got apple brandy in a barrel right now. I've got the Jimmy Red that I came and got from Big Easy. I'm getting married in May, so my fiance and I.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Her and I ground all the corn, mashed it, just fermented it, and distilled it together. And now we've got it barreled, and that's what we're gonna have our toast at our wedding. So
nice.
Yeah, pretty cool that we did it all together. I used the Jimmy Red, the Argentine orange, and the caramel malt along with the distiller's malt on it. So it turned out pretty good.
Hell yeah. Me and Sean are gonna show up at the reception. We'll have jars.
I'm gonna work on a vodka. Hopefully, I've got some oats and raisins going and sugar shine. I'm gonna try and run it 12 times and over a bunch of fucking charcoal and see if it turns the vodka. We'll see.
Nice. Are you just pot thumper worm running, or are you doing stripping runs? How you running?
I've been running through the 40-gallon through the thumper, and then I've got one of your apartment stills that my fiance got me for Christmas because she loves me. So I've been rerunning everything, cleaning it up after it's been through the thumper.
Nice. That little 5-gallon cake setup, man. You know, it's great for whether if you're starting new and you want to start small, or if you know you're stripping and keeping hearts and rerunning them to clean them up. You know, a little 5-gallon dig. You know, you can't beat it.
Yeah, and I've been messing with absinthe and gin lately. So I do my macerations with the alcohol, and I also do one with water that I'm going to proof down with. Put that all together. I've been getting a lot of flavor that way. So.
Nice. So,
interesting.
You know, not a lot of people do absinthe. So
this is my red absinthe that I've made recently. I'm pretty happy about it for the wedding.
So explain to people what gives it the red color.
Yeah, because you know we're used to green from the wormwood, and
I use hibiscus and rose petals.
And so, are you still using wormwood in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But before the last distillation, so I didn't macerate with any wormwood while it was clear. So
I'm intrigued. Does it still get the?
I went way light on the wormwood and went more like the anise and allspice and shit like that because you know, to try and get people to like it. I tell them it kind of tastes like root beer. So
yeah, because like that's what I don't like about it. You know, it's the black. It tastes like black licorice to me.
Yeah,
that's what it tastes, and I'm just like, oh god, I just don't like black licorice.
The red looks really badass whenever you loose it, though. It's like fluorescent, pinkish purple. I don't know. Different.
So what gave you that idea?
It's both of our birthstones is garnet. So we're gonna have it at the wedding also. Both of our birthstones are garnet, and working on that. I wanted to do one that was like Dracula based, but being red, I wanted to call it Alucard Absinthe, which is Dracula backwards from the Castlevania series. But she didn't like. She wanted it to be our birthstone. So what it is, you know. I was like, fuck. Vampires are pretty cool, but
you know, she gets what she wants, man. You know, you might as well get used to it. So it only gets worse.
She doesn't really drink either, so she just hangs out with me while I do it because she knows I like it.
Nice.
She gets tired of smelling and tasting shit like here because I taste it a little bit and like here.
Well, that's another question I was going to ask. You know, how do you do your cuts? Because you know, there's not to bring it up, but on the Taters episode, there was a girl on there, if you remember. She don't drink. I can't remember her name though. You know what I'm talking about, Easy?
I mean, you know, I'm not going to remember the name, but I do remember the episode.
Okay.
Well, I do like I taste, you know, feel like you can feel the oils when they come and go, and just smell pretty much.
Nice.
And you can kind of like by temperature when you run a still so much, you kind of know what's happening by the temperature, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also depends on how much mash you have, because if you have less mash in it, it's not going to be the same. So
you get a feel for your still. You know, it's just like driving your car, man. You know, like, well, man, if I go over at 85, it's going to start making this noise right in that back corner. I can't do that. You know, I got to keep it. I got to keep below 70, and we're all right. Like, oh, that rattles. You turn that knob twice and it goes away. You know, it's yours. You run it out every day, and so you know you get a feel for how it runs, and it's kind of nice to get that, because when something's off, you know immediately. You know, because you're so familiar with how it's supposed to be. So you know or you know, you could be like a couple buddies we got, and you know, they run something for a month, send it down the road, and get something else, and you know, sometimes it just always looking for better. I dig that too.
So what's the craziest mash bill you've ever done?
This summer I mashed in like 60 watermelons, and that was kind of a pain in the ass.
Nice. Did you chop them up, or did you take the immersion blender and jam them down inside and emulsify them?
I cut them in half, forked them. I fucking sliced them all kinds of different ways and cut all the red shit out, put them in a barrel, and mashed them with a paddle, like as I went.
Did you hoe 'em? Did you get them with a hoe?
No.
It worked better to mash with than the paddle. It's got the flat end on it, but
that makes sense.
it's
I mean, eventually it turns the water. They just turn the water pretty much, but
Hoes work great in this business.
They do. I did watermelons once, and I cut a piece off the top, and it took an immersion blender and jammed it down inside it until they were liquefied, and then dumped the guts out.
Did you get much like watermelon off of it, like watermelon flavor or aroma?
We did. We did a wine. I didn't distill it, but we did a wine, and it soured. It was disgusting. So that's when I learned, like, if you're going to do it, man, you can't let your mash sit real long. As soon as it's done, then you should run it, or all that pulp in there, it goes sour real fast.
Mine just smelled like the outside of a watermelon more than the inside, just kind of like, or the white part, like the white part of the watermelon, just smelled like fresh. It wasn't like watermelon-y, but.
You see, I think watermelon is one of those flavors that we're so accustomed and so used to the artificial,
like
watermelon.
Bananas.
Yeah, just like bananas. We're so accustomed, like, oh, a watermelon Jolly Rancher. That's how we expect watermelons to taste. Like, even when you're eating watermelon, it's just, it's not the same as, a watermelon Starburst or something like that. And I think certain flavors like that, we get so used to the artificialness that it's hard when especially you're trying to distill. And you know how it is with fruit. It's going to be light hints on the back end. And when they're real light like that, like watermelon in its natural form is a really light flavor and really light smell. So it's so hard to get it to come through.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, like, with brandy, so like in gin, they use orris root and angelica root as fixatives that help. I don't know exactly. I guess it helps bond the aromas to the alcohol past the heads, so you get more of like the juniper and everything that's in it. I don't know if that works with fruit or not. I thought about trying it, but.
See, like, if you use the concentrates, they break down really well in the distillation, and they pull those aromas over really strong, which trick your palate into tasting something that's not really there. Right. Like it like that's not there, but I can smell it, therefore I can taste it.
Yep, I know a lot of people, they'll dump like the flavored alcohol in the thumpers too.
Yeah, I've tried that. But for my banana, I dumped a bunch of 99 bananas in there and the thumper.
It helps. You get that good, strong, fake flavored concentrate with that high proof alcohol, and the glycerin in with that 99 bananas, and it's just it really helps. It pulls them aromas. It pulls the smell. It's not so much flavor as it is the aromas.
Mm-hmm.
My banana always comes off like real earthy. I don't know.
You say you're what?
Banana always, it's just like earthy on the nose.
What kind of yeast do you use?
For the bananas, I think I used the KV1116 or whatever. I don't remember the numbers, but the KV1116.
I tell you, if you use bread yeast, it give it more of a banana bread,
nutty. Yeah.
I think it may have went a little too high temp on when I pitched my yeast too. I guess you got with that KV1116 or whatever the fuck it is. You have to have low mash temps. So
yeah, everyone's different. If you're using them Lauvins as your yeast, you got to make sure you read the package, because all the temps are different. Each one's a different pitch. If you use a bread yeast, just throw it in below 80 degrees. You're fine.
I thought I ordered EC1118 or whatever it is. Yeah, EC118111A, whatever. I can't remember. EC1118. But clicked the wrong thing and got the KV1116. So didn't notice till I was already fucking put it in water. rehydrating it, getting it going.
Yeah, man, you got it. I mean, use what you got. I'm a big believer. Use what you got. Like, I ain't got no bread yeast. I got some of this. Throw it in there. Like
Mix
it
it
don't
all together.
matter.
Shit.
Yeah, it's go make liquor. So at the end of the day, make liquor.
Go make something. That's for sure. So what's the? I don't know if there's a lot of people around you that do this. So what's the smallest still you've been around, and what's the biggest still you've been around?
The smallest is probably that little one I was talking about that my brother had back in the day. And the biggest, probably my 40-gallon, not counting like visiting distilleries. I would say probably my 40-gallon.
So
I don't know of any other people like right around me that's into the home distilling, but I know there's people farther south than me a little bit. A couple guys that are into it.
So how close are you to Ohio?
I think Cincinnati is straight down 50, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think. I'm in the limestone capital of the world, actually. So
nice. You
like 5 minutes from where they got the stone for the Empire State Building.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're not far from Spirits of Prince Lake, right?
No, 45 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go over there sometime here this summer.
You guys do get a hold of me.
Yeah, I need a bottle of that gin and apple brandy. Those are the two things I need.
Yeah, I'd like to try that 4-year apple brandy he's got.
Same.
That 2-year was real good.
I've never tried any of it.
What?
I don't drink. I live a sober life, so I don't know. I really have to not drink to not start drinking. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I sip every now and then. Now, I will be in Gatlinburg Saturday. So Saturday I'm going to be in Gatlinburg. So I'm gonna bougie it up and hit every distillery. You muted yourself when you tried to talk shit, Sean. There you go.
I know.
Try to bust my balls.
Nah, well.
Yeah. We know what it is.
So what y'all's plan down there?
I don't know. Drink too much and eat Space Needle pizza. Hey.
Solid plan.
Start at the bottom of the hill.
Hey,
you
got to make sure you go to Sugarlands and ask them when the next one's going to be out.
Oh, we will. Don't worry. Oh, we're going to try to get a tour at Sugarlands, and we're going to ask noob questions. And there's going to be about 4 or 5 of us, and so we're going to try to get a tour wherever we can, probably at Sugarlands, and it's going to be a good time.
Every time I've been down there, there's a fucking big ass line at that place.
Oh, there's always, especially going the weekend, there's a huge line. I'm going to claim to be Master Distiller Sean Rigsby and see if they'll let me in front of everybody.
Better glue a beard on and wear a hat.
I'll just say I shaved. They don't know what you look like shaved. Shaved and put on a bunch of weight. So life's been hell the past couple of years. Take advantage.
I mean,
no, Sugarlands, there usually is a line out the door, and so you go to Old Smoky, and dude, the best one to go to is Tennessee Shine Co., but it's all the way down the hill, down the block, and around the corner, and there's nobody there, but you go there, and they just keep pouring and pouring and pouring, and you're like, yep, give me. I don't want the coffee, but give me the other shit. Anything else but the coffee. I'm good with that. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time. So, if you're in Gatlinburg Saturday, you might see me. Buy me a drink.
Find out why they call him Big Easy.
That takes 3 drinks. That's 3 drinks, not just one. It takes 3. And it can't be no little quarter shots.
Potato. Same thing.
No, there's a potato. 1 or 3, that's a big difference.
Well, it depends on if you're drinking, one bottle.
Oh, it's got to be top shelf if it's 3. If it's 1, it's got to be some super duper, uber duper top shelf. But even then, I'm
Can
still
they-
going to negotiate two, three
Can
more.
Can you find any top shelf in Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm bringing it. I'm gonna have it in my pocket.
Damn.
Shit, but no, it's gonna be a good time. We'll talk about it next week, so I'm sure we will.
This your worst episode yet?
Nah, man, we're having a good time. What are you talking about? This is normal. We've had Bennett on twice. And one time
Yeah.
it was just him, like so.
We
And
had to bring the viewers on, bring his wife on.
Yeah, and then we had Bean on. Get much worse than that. No, man, we're just shooting the shit. We're having a good time, so that's all that matters. Have you found any history in your blood in your heritage with alcohol throughout the years?
My grandpa, he tried to make liquor. Well, I guess he did make liquor back in the day, but he didn't like it, so he just bought shit from the store. But my great grandpa and my great grandmother used to have a liquor still when my grandpa was little, like, well, a child, I guess, back in the day. So,
Nice. Now, did you know about this before you started making liquor, or did you learn about this afterwards?
Before, and I didn't know what it was forever. My grandpa's old submarine pot rotted out next to the shop in the woods forever, and I didn't know what it was until
Understandable.
it was gone. You know, the wood sides are out of it, and trees growing through it and shit.
Yeah, it's like, man, too bad the metal ain't still good. I'd rehab at it.
How big would you say it was?
I bet it was probably 50 gallons. It's hard to, I don't know with those things, like,
Yeah,
how you guess the size of them things. They're so, oblong. And
yeah, he was probably bagging him 10 gallons out of it every run.
probably, but he didn't like it. He said so. He drank Calvert stuff. I don't know. It must have been pretty bad if you like Calvert's over that.
Hey, you like what you like. Yeah. I can imagine, he probably didn't know nothing about rerunning or anything like that. He just made some liquor once and was like, oh, that tastes like a tire fire.
Shit.
Yeah, probably had a bunch of corn left over or something. Or him and his buddies just wanted to see if they could do it.
Hey, so when you go to Sugarlands, okay, you got to walk to the back.
I know. I'll go look for that jar. She was still back there.
Okay. You got to look for that motherfucker.
What was it? At Sean's release party, we partied back there in the back, and there was a jar, and we left a jar sitting there that LeMaster's wife tried to get the peach out of and was struggling, and they left it there. I don't know if it was that jar. It might have been that jar. Might have been a peach brandy jar.
I was gonna say it's either that or peach brandy, one or two.
But we was definitely pouring them back. That's for sure. That was a good time.
Hell yeah, it was. But so what all different kinds of liquor have you made? I mean,
yeah, you said you made gin, absinthe, corn liquor.
Gin, absinthe, corn liquor, bourbons. I tried at 100% malted corn one time. I didn't put it on, but that takes a fucking lot of that shit.
It takes a lot of corn. It takes a lot of grain to do all grain.
Yeah,
a lot.
100% malted corn because it barely wants to convert itself, so it takes a fucking lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Apple brandy, banana brandy, watermelon brandies, fucking.
Do you do peach?
I've never messed with any peaches. They're expensive here, so.
Yeah, you gotta get them summertime around here, about $1 a pound.
They're always expensive here, so.
Yeah, which ain't too bad. And then every now and then, the store down the road will have them for about $1 a pound.
And it's worth it once you get to, well, for us, it's worth it because we drink on it.
Right.
Those are peach brandy.
I wanted to do peaches. I did, I took 4 gallons of corn liquor and probably 15 cans of peaches and combined them, and it's still sitting with some oak chips.
Nice little mountain brandy.
And French oak chips, and it's been sitting for almost a year now. So with the peaches and the liquor and the chips, I don't know. I probably ought to check on it, see what it's doing. But
time to check on it.
Yeah.
Hey Sean, we're gonna have to roll over to Tyler's and check on his stuff for him. Like, oh, this is done. No, this one needs a little longer. This one's about done. You're great.
If it's got wood in it, it's definitely too long.
Yeah. You put it in there, it's too long. You should have left it clear. But some things need wood. It just
don't ask the old lady.
That's right. She ain't needed that in a while. She's like, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
And that's another thing I've messed with, like cutting maple, like sugar maple, and macerating sugar maple and different kinds of trees and shit like that too. So,
I mean, that's what's cool. You get to a certain point where you're like, man, I just want to play.
Yeah,
I just want to play with stuff and see what I like. Because like if you was doing it, for a living on the side, it would, it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And so, it's nice not to be. It's nice that it's a hobby and it's something that you do for fun. Because in that way, when things can get expensive, matches can get really expensive, but when it's your hobby, you're like, man, I'm doing this. It's what I like. This is my hobby money I'm putting into it, so it's a little different than trying to come up with something new that people are going to like that you could potentially get rid of.
Yeah, I've never bored. I've always got some kind of experiment going on, whether it's with a fermentation, a maceration, or a distillation. There's always got something on my mind I'm trying to figure out. So,
and then eventually, you're going to stumble across something that I know you don't drink it, but somebody that is going to really like it, and you're going to be like, "Yep, that's right, that's me." And you never know what door it could open up to you in the future. Like, maybe a little later in life, you hop into a distillery or you open your own distillery, and now you have your ways. That you've put all the work in. You don't have to experiment. You know what works and what's great and what's not.
That's the goal.
So, have you had any bad experiences during running?
Not really.
What kind of hic?
I don't think so. I haven't.
So, do you use gas or you use electric?
Electric. But
have you upgraded to a controller box yet?
Do what?
Got a controller box yet? Or are you still doing the plug unplug?
I've got 2 of them for every element.
Nice.
Yeah. But I got a keg over the weekend that I'm going to set up to run on propane. So the one that I thought had shit in it that I texted you about over the weekend, I was looking down inside it, and it was like the sun was shining in, and it looked like there was black shit in it, but it was just the water.
Yeah.
Oh, the keg?
Yeah, the keg. I was like, what the fuck?
That's the
fucking things.
Well, that's the beauty about kegs too, man. If something ever happens, just throw the fucker away and get you another one for $40.
This one was, my brother had a party or something and didn't know that you had to return them quickly to get your deposit back. So I can see that.
If you do scorch them, you put the stem back in and then resell it cheap and then buy you another one.
I saved that shit, the ring and all.
What a piece of shit. Because the only person looking to buy them things is looking to make a still out of it. What a dick.
Takes one to know one. Hold on.
This episode may hurt Easy's sales.
Let's talk about being a dick for a minute, all right? So our buddy Sturge, he's like, man, my mash stalled. He's trying to do a sour mash. So I told him, I was like, dude, forget sour mash and just reuse your corn a couple times and move on. But he had to do a sour mash.
That's what happens when you don't listen.
And so he's messaging Sean like, hey man, it's stalled. What do I do? And Sean's like, dump baking soda in it. And he's like, a lot of baking soda. And so he's dumping it in, and he's like, nah, dump more in. He dumps some more in. He's like, all right, dump more in. He dumps more in. Finally gets a volcano.
He said, what is it?
He's like, you put too much in. Like, what an asshole. Like, and then And then he messages me because he don't trust Sean no more. And I was like, oh man, you gotta add. And he's like, it still ain't working. And I'm like, you gotta add more, but you gotta stir at the same time while you're adding. You don't stir while you add bacon.
Well, and the thing was, next time I got it, you got to make sure that it's about this far from the top
Yeah, you gotta fill it all the way up. You won't have to add so much.
instead of putting 40 gallons in a 65-gallon vessel.
And then he's like, why ain't it working? I was like, dude, you're gonna need like 3 bottles of lemon juice. Sean had you put so much baking soda in there. You probably got a pH of 40. And then he makes a video making fun of me about it. Like, what an asshole. Sean's
Well, that's what that was about.
it was.
Well, he made a video about it too.
Yeah, he made a reply video.
Dang.
Man, you know, that's the thing about this. Everybody learns one way or the other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but that's how I learned.
Oh yeah, I had mine was in a carboy, so it spewed like Mount Everest. It was Mount St. Helen. It definitely took off. It it's your buddy, man. You got to mess with your buddy when you get the chance. And I was like, Sean, you've been waiting months for this. You've been waiting.
Yeah,
I've been talking to him out of sour mashes, and Sean's trying to talk him into it. And I'm just like, dude, you plotted this. You're an asshole. That was awesome. That's awesome. It's good times.
Everyone deserves a little hazing every once in a while.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially when it's your boy, you definitely gotta go hard on your boys, man.
Well, he's one of them people that in this, I guess, hobby, he second guesses himself all the time. And, you know, if it's something that's not really going to hurt anything, I mean, why not? It wasn't working anyway, right? So,
Yeah.
and then he was like, so what do I do with it? I said, well, he was like, can I dump it down the drain? And I work for a wastewater, you know, and I said, well, no. If you dump it down the drain, then, you know, they can trace it back, you know, pH drop and all this shit. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah.
That's hilarious.
What an asshole. I'd rather buy a used keg.
I said, man, that's $10,000 surcharge, man.
Fucking Sean just terrorized him for his own enjoyment. You're twisted.
So Ohio has top-notch wastewater technology.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sean's in charge of it. I mean, what's that tell you about it?
I don't know about in charge, but
he's around it. You know, he's in the vicinity.
That's why it's wastewater, not drinking water.
Yeah. You ever get it mixed up at work, Sean?
No.
Except
for
only
the
once. Only once, huh? that if you buy special water from Sean for your mash, that's what he's doing. He's just bucking it up out of the tank.
Got a little tinge to it, you know?
Yeah, a little tinge. It looks like the Master's well water.
Well,
good nutrient in it.
Do what?
Some of it probably has good nutrient in it, all the nitrates from the shit.
Oh yeah, I bet it does. So you got any real good limestone springs out around you? I imagine they're pulling all that, pulling limestone from the Empire State Building, you know.
Yeah, I have a well here, and I think that's part of the reason I've never had a failed fermentation. I think it's the water.
You got nice limestone water, nice.
Yeah. It's super hard.
So do you use a worm or a live egg, or
which
which one do you prefer?
The little still that I got for Christmas, the apartment still thing. That's the first live egg condenser I've ever. So that
1 footer.
Yeah, that was a little different. So
you got to move a lot of water. You got to constantly move a lot of water in them live eggs, especially when they're small.
I've got like probably a 30-gallon. I think it was a protein tub, but like one of the short ones, not like the thin ones. And I freeze 5-gallon buckets in the deep freeze. So
nice. That's the way to do it.
And fill them back up and refreeze them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, have you ever thought about them chillers or anything?
No, because I don't know shit that to go wrong. And I already
They're
put a
they're
lot.
expensive. Like they ain't
Yeah,
cheap.
expensive.
They ain't cheap, man. I'm like, dude, I'm running a worm. Just give me a 50-gallon barrel of water, bro. We're gonna get it. Now, if somebody wants to give me a chiller, I will run it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I just freeze 5-gallon. But I've got a deep freeze that only has
Yeah.
5-gallon buckets in it, full of water. So
Nice. Just going
it's
ahead.
like a pretty big deep freezer too. You can fit 3 or 4 bodies in it. You know, one of those big ones.
Yeah.
So, do you know who, what company built your still? Your
Yeah.
copper one?
Vengeance. I don't want to say it too loud. Vengeance.
I mean, have you had any problems out of it?
Not really. It came with shit elements. Like they were little fucking bastards.
Yeah.
They were small, super small. Other than that, no real leaks though. I mean, it's a paste up, but it never leaks. I pride myself in my pasting abilities.
Well, if you ever need to sell it, don't look for a guy named Matt Lemaster because he
He will not buy it. I would say he's still in here, but went to bed. That's a good shot at him.
I've been thinking about getting a different one, but I'll probably go with a 13 stills because he's close to here. That's like
Louisville or something. Yeah.
Louisville, yeah, an hour and a half away.
So how long does it take you to run that?
Now since I got the new elements from Big Easy, I dump my mash and preheat the night before up to like 100, 110 degrees. It's running in 2 hours of turning it on. So, and then
That's
I'm
not
done.
too bad.
Probably 4.5 hours, some shit like that. After turning on for 5 hours, not too bad. Not like it was, but it used to take fucking forever before I had the controllers and the bigger elements. So
yeah,
and it's still only 110, but
110.
Yeah, but it's got 2 elements though, and I preheat it the night before, and that helps a lot.
So do you have a controller, or you just plug straight into the wall?
Yeah, I've got a controller for each element.
Okay.
So,
are you running 120 volt controllers on each one?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I think they're fuck, I can never remember where they're from. They're pretty nice though.
Nice.
So have you ever ran on wood?
No, but I want to. I figure when I get a new still, this old one, where the elements go, I'm gonna plug that up and
run your beer keg on wood.
Run a beer keg off one?
Yeah, just throw that beer keg on the wood, man. It's a beer keg.
I like the looks of a copper steel sticking out of a furnace. I fucking love it.
Spray paint it copper. I know a couple dudes that did that. That's all it's saying. It's all, man. If it looks copper, it's copper, man. Roll it. It's copper. It's copper after the pot, anyways. You're all good.
So
do you want to run off wood though? I think it would be fun actually out in the woods.
Yeah, it would.
I'm surprised you haven't got up with Alan yet.
He lives far away and he's a busy man. Not too far. It's like an hour, but he's a busy man. So.
Shit, that ain't bad at all. Me and Easy live about half hour from each other.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. When Sean comes over, I'll answer the door.
That's the fucking truth.
And when Sean leaves me at his house, I break shit. So we got our things,
That and calls me to fucking burn myself.
Hey, you burn it yourself.
Well, I got a hoe for you.
Yeah. Send it over. I need one. I like them with the fiberglass handles. I break the wood handle once, man. I'm surprised I didn't break that one. It's because I wasn't really using it. But anyways.
So do you have do you have a go-to recipe that you just kind of default back to?
A go-to recipe, just like when I'm bored and want to run for a base spirit?
Yeah.
Or Probably just a little bit of corn, oats, raisins, and malt, sugar. Usually 1 pound per gallon. Like if I'm going to, like for a base beer, like for an absinthe or something like that.
Okay. Interesting. So now, what's the fermentation time like on well, I guess where you guys are at? Is it about 5 to 7 days, 7 to 10?
Yeah. And depends on whether, like what time of year it is, whether I'm inside or outside. Sometimes I ferment outside for fun of it. Sometimes I do it downstairs. It's temperature controlled basement.
So that's what I say. Do you run all year long?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pretty nice.
I know a lot of people, man, they can't do that. Or some people use those aquarium heaters or belt heaters or.
I tried that, but I was afraid that because those things get pretty hot.
What, the aquarium heaters?
Yeah. I'm always afraid that whatever yeast come in contact with them fucking things, it would kill it. So I never tried it.
You could burn grain to it. You know, it will scorch grain on it.
So it would kill yeast.
Ask me how I know, Sean. Ask me how I know.
2 of them in one winter, and 3 of them my whole life.
Oh, dude, it's a nightmare, man. Like it gets cold. I'm like, I'm done, man.
Like a blanket.
To do.
I just wrap a blanket around my fermenter, and if it's like cold and there's a fire going 10 feet away in the stove anyway. So
I was talking to my buddy Donnie Benton actually the other day, and people use those what do you call them, Easy? The ones that Bennett and all them got, they're just like belt heaters.
Like a band heater.
Yeah, but you can
a
actually
band that goes around outside of your barrel.
But you can actually get them for plastic barrels.
Oh, for cows. So the water don't freeze, right? For livestock.
Yeah, you can use them for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sell them for barrels, 5-gallon buckets.
Mm-hmm.
You see them use a lot, or you can get one of them big giant badass tote heaters.
Yeah, those work too.
Yeah, that thing's badass.
You can use a tote, or you can put barrels in it, like cut the tote and then stick the barrels in it and just fill the barrels.
Like big old giant, like wraps around your tote, and I'd say that thing would it'll keep your mash cool when it's -30 outside. It'll keep it nice and warm.
Mm-hmm. So Ozark Steelworks uses a electric blanket.
Electric blanket.
Yeah. Well, Joe says he uses grow pads with a moving blanket. I do know, like, when you're using pads and things like that, if you use like one of the space blankets, they're not flammable, so you don't have to worry about like your pads overheating it and catching it on fire, smolder, or anything like that. So that might be.
That would worry me. That shit catching on fire in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So I know I have seen and talked to people. They use space blankets instead of like moving blankets and things like that, and you get just as much heat retention inside and without the worry of it getting hot and catching on fire.
Interesting.
That's why when in the group chat, I'm like, put your band on there and wrap a space blanket around it. You'll be all right. Like, put a space blanket.
Your guys' temperatures and seasons are basically the same as they are here, probably, right?
Yeah, we know. It's just as bipolar. You're not like, we're a little closer, I believe, to the lakes.
Yeah.
Than you are, and we get wind off the lake, so like it is so bipolar here. Like it's 70 today, and it'll be 40 in 2 days.
What's tomorrow?
Mid-70s today here, but was it fucking last week or the week before? It was 70 degrees, and then there was 3 inches of snow the next day or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're the same as us. You're right along the same same latitude. So.
Yep. Well, the other day it was like I went to work. It was like 60 degrees, and I got off. It was 37, and we had fucking tornadoes and shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. You get tornadoes already in February.
Usually,
you get that.
Seems like in Indiana, they usually end up with bad tornadoes in January and February. Like every year, we usually have some. But
you guys are right there in that flat area. From where I'm at, west, it's like I'm 45 minutes from Richmond, and not even 45 minutes, like 35. And like when you leave out from where I'm at, you get out of the Five Rivers because we got all the valleys from the Five Rivers here. It's the end of it, and it's just flat, and there ain't nothing. So I bet y'all deal with that all the time. But all right, I think we've kept everybody here long enough. So Tyler, we appreciate you hanging out. Talking a little liquor.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun. I don't get to talk about distilling shit with people very often. So
yeah, we enjoy talking liquor. So we're always talking liquor. It's a good time.
Love the show. You guys doing a great job. Keep it up.
So you need anything, man, let us know. We'll be here. Y'all want to know anything about absinthe? Old Tyler's the way to go. I know Phil Billy messaged you when he was working on his absinthe. And, always, hey, we're always down to help, man. That's why we're here. So if you ever need anything, man, find one of us. Get a hold of one of us. We'll gladly answer your questions. And that's why we're here.
Double check the information. Always.
Yeah, always go double check it, I've always felt like the wisest man will always tell you when he doesn't know, So if you get a guy and he tells you like, man, I don't know, ask this guy. That's usually a solid dude who's giving you good information as opposed to somebody that knows it all the time and always has an answer. Not saying there ain't, because there's a couple dudes that I would trust anything they say, but for the most part, it's always nice to have somebody be like, I don't know that one, man. I ain't never done that. Let me. I got a guy. So speaking of one right there.
Yeah.
We already knew that. Those ain't enough of those. So, but anyways, we appreciate y'all. Everybody have a great night. We'll be back next Monday. Be on the lookout for Sean's ad. You'll find out who's on when I find out. So y'all have a great week, man, and enjoy yourself. And if you're in Gatlinburg Saturday, you might see my big ugly head.
Safe traveling down there.
Thank you. Have a great night, Tyler.
Yep,
Sean,
y'all have a good one.
Yeah, have all right one, man. You be all right. All right, love y'all. Shine on.
Shine on.